When talking about modded zombies, the first games that probably come to mind are Black Ops 3 or the classic World at War. But what if I told you that back in 2016, one developer took on one of the biggest modding challenges and created a series of mods with their own intertwined stories for fan favorite maps in the notoriously difficult to mod Black Ops 1. Mod developer Dr. Lil Robot created the Nova 6 series spanning across 4 maps. Today, we're going to take a look at the first entry, which released March 5th, 2016, a whopping 9 years ago. The Nova 6 series' first chapter starts us on the map 5. This mod provides the map with a new lease on life, giving it a fully fledged Easter egg, along with various gameplay additions that modernize the map. We'll go through the full Easter egg later, but for now, let's take a look at some of the gameplay changes for this mod. The biggest change, and most controversial, is the Parasite round being in place of the Pentagon Thief round. The removal of the Pentagon Thief rips out a core feature of 5, but allows for a story-driven replacement. The Parasites function identically to dogs, fast-moving squishy enemies. They have a custom model and sounds from a game called Alien Swarm by Valve. The weapon selection has been refreshed, taking guns from BO3, MW3, and Ghosts, adding a total of 15 new weapons to the map. The wunderwaffe also makes an appearance with the updated model from Black Ops 3. The Marshall 16s also make an appearance, having been turned into a Winter's Howl type weapon, which shoots a cold vortex, freezing and killing zombies. As for perks, Double Tap is upgraded to its 2.0 variant. No other new perks were added to the map. Nova 6 also features a unique HUD with round change music from Advanced Warfare. The wall buys no longer have chalk drawings, rather the weapon name written on the wall. Last but certainly not least, Nova 6 features a fully functioning Gobblegum machine and related animations, near identical to its Black Ops 3 version. This was an insane thing to mod into Black Ops 1 at the time, and even though the gum selection is limited, you still have access to the essentials, such as In Plain Sight, Stock Option, all the power-up drop related Gobblegums, Alchemical, Wall Power, and a few other ones that were on the easier side to code. Now it's time to get into the map's added Easter egg. Upon loading into the map, you are met with a familiar alarm and voice telling you that the power is off. That voice is paired with an unfamiliar one. A man named Dr. Schroeder introduces himself, then reveals to the player that the outbreak is all his fault.
Zero times 2 is still 0.
This is all my fault. Unfortunately, in my panic at the outbreak, I attacked myself. I need the Pentagon with 6 laboratories.
He tells us that in the panic of the outbreak, he has trapped himself in the Nova 6 lab and that we must release the gas. The main playable characters are the standard ones on 5. JFK, Castro, McNamara, and Nixon. As with any other zombies Easter egg, the first course of action is to turn on the power. Once we get the power on, Schroeder contacts us again saying we need to get a generator from the basement, but 2 keycards are needed to release the magnetic locks on it.
Turning on the power just brought us further on our quest. You must find a generator somewhere here in this basement. 2 keycards are required to the magnetic locks. Find them.
No ammo?
After going on a little fetch quest to get both keycards, we can go back to the autopsy room and pick up the generator.
See upstairs to the wall. Plug the generator into the server computer.
All out. So be it. I'm done with your insufferable calls.
Schroeder tells us to use this generator to bring the server room online, so we can get security codes. We take the generator to the war room, and we must defend it for 60 seconds while it powers up. Then, once around, we can teleport into the server room and try and get the security codes. Now, in the few runs that I played of this mod, this step has been the most frustrating. It's not a difficult step by any means, I just have terrible luck finding the code. You're placed in a room with an array of servers, and any one of them has the prompt to get the security codes. You have about 60 seconds to check as many servers as possible before you're booted out and must come back next round. Once you manage to find the code, you are teleported back into the war room. Schroeder then instructs you to head to the basement to release the Nova 6 gas, in order to eliminate all of the drone experiments, which I presume are the parasites.
Give me a revive. You're too ready to handle alone.
It will release the remainder of my creation.
I am in your debt.
To whip a Nova gas.
2 waypoint markers appear on your HUD, one for the Nova 6 suit and one for the gas release button. Putting the hazmat suit on changes you to the Black Ops 2 CDC character model. This is the point of no return in the Easter egg, and as soon as you release the Nova 6 gas, the final sequence starts. Releasing the gas locks you in the basement with parasites constantly spawning for a few minutes. Once the elevator is able to be used again, you must rush up to the war room and then up to the main office levels to interact with the server that's not there in the original map. Doing this will free Dr. Schroeder, and he will speak to you in an ominous tone, saying it's time to hold up his end of the bargain and to meet him in the war room.
I have been freed. Thank you, my friends. Now it's time for me to hold up my end. I'll be seeing you in the war room.
Once you make your way down to the war room, you're faced with the unthinkable, a floating Panzer. He reveals to you that he was the one who created the parasites, and that this was all part of his master plan to take over the world.
Thank you for your help. I created these beasts to rule.
Here, Puppy. I have a treat for you.
See with my plans. You help me, I will exterminate everything. This world will fall to me.
A boss fight ensues, where Schroeder floats around the room, launching EMPs at you while parasites swarm you. There are no special mechanics at play here, you just have to unload a bunch of bullets to the Schroeder as he's a really big bullet sponge. Although there is a unique HUD graphic that appears when you are in range of his EMP attack. This fight's pretty easy as long as you don't get swarmed while reloading. After enough damage to Schroeder, he will fall into the middle of the room and explode. He drops both a permanent fire sale and bonfire sale. Now, you must enter the server room one last time to get the nuke codes again. Once you get them, you have the option to set off a nuke and destroy the map. A yellow waypoint with the words nuke written on it appears on your HUD. It's pointing to a console near the power switch. Once you hit it, you have to make your way back up to the offices so you can escape. All the teleporters are off and the elevator's not working for the moment, so you have to hold out for a minute while parasites swarm you. Once the elevator's back online, it's a mad dash to the offices. The waypoint points you to a closed shutter door that when you walk up to it, puts you on the other side, outside of the regular play area of 5. If you play Classified, you're familiar with this area, but it's still cool to see in the BO1 version. Once you reach the exit, your game ends and a cutscene plays, showing the 4 characters dressed in their hazmat suits, standing outside, waiting for the Pentagon to explode.
Future is not a gift. It is an achievement.
It fades to black and the credits roll, ending with a foreboding message. Dr. Schroeder will return. For a Black Ops 1 mod, Dr. Low Robot knocks it out of the park. With no official mod tools, managed to add a full Easter egg and various essential gameplay changes to an old fan favorite map. I'm now going to delve into some of the issues I had with the map, but let's be real, this was a first of its kind mod for a difficult to mod game, so take all of these with a grain of salt. The Easter egg is a little handholdy with all the waypoints and different objectives, but it might be necessary because the custom voice lines really don't come through clear at all, and the objectives aren't too obscure anyway, so the waypoints aren't really taking away much of the mystery. In my opinion, the server code step is quite annoying because you're spamming interact in a giant room with things that look exactly the same, and when I finally found the right one and teleported out, it downed me as soon as I got out of that room. Now, as you can imagine, creating mods for a game that was not really meant to be modded can cause some issues, and this mod is quite buggy sometimes. When doing the Easter egg, the parasite rounds either wouldn't end or kept ending after only 1 or 2 kills, and sometimes the parasites would get stuck on different floors, but the teleporters and elevators would be disabled so I couldn't go get them, and I would have to wait for them to eventually despawn in order to progress. Last little nitpick, this is just a mod limitation, but every custom item placed in the map, such as the Gobblegum machine or the server in the starting room, has no collision. It doesn't affect gameplay, it's just kind of funny. Even with these issues and bugs, Nova 6 is a great experience, and I highly recommend checking it out if you own Black Ops 1 on PC. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss my next retrospective on the next map in the Nova 6 series, Project Thor. Thanks for watching.
Dr. Schroeder's here. Project Thor. Of course. I knew he'd come back for it.